could have, but I don't know. But yeah, on cold tires or on cold streets, those tires, man, they don't stand a chance. That was from 45 to 75 miles an hour to spin the tires. Like it's just hazing them.
So this is what you think is the best package, or what?
This is for an LT4. Only because you get the camshaft sound, and if you don't want that, we could sell a package like this without the camshaft. That would be the #1 selling package for money. The best bang for your buck. This exact same thing without a camshaft in it. Don't spin the blower hard. Put E85 in it. I just say it, and you'll pick. We'd probably make 650 rear wheel horsepower, like with no cam in it. It'd be like a stock car, but everyone loves the cam, so. The only thing this thing needs
So
is
I was just recording that. So Steven, is that something I should actually include on the video, or?
That's up to you, bud. I mean, God damn it, why is it not recording? Yeah, this is the most popular. Why is it not recording, bud? It's turning fucking red.
Mode or some shit.
But no, this is our most common package, I think, for a reason, because you get the sound. Everyone wants that camshaft low up at idle when they're pulling into a parking lot to show their buddies, and then to be able to run on pump gas or E85, no matter where you live in the country. You know, 91 octane, 93 or E85 for racing, and then it's super reliable. We're not spinning the supercharger hard, so intake air temps aren't a problem. You know, at 700, 750 rear wheel horsepower, these cars are fun as hell to drive and very reliable. Once you start making 1,000 rear wheel horsepower plus, yes, they are still reliable, but this thing right here, this 10-speed automatic transmission, is laughing at that horsepower. The rear end even is fine. CV axles, again, if you put tires on it, but it's hard to beat this package. It's just, we do so many of them over and over and over again, and they repeat over and over again. They do not disappoint. And like I said, even at me driving them every day, it's still fun as shit for me to drive it. I love driving this fucking car. And low mileage cars, which this one is 15,000 miles, super clean. I mean, drive it every day is fun as hell. It really is. The problem is people are like me. They get that bug of adrenaline, and they get used to this for about 3 to 6 months, and then they call back for the ported blower or the 2016. But it's just gearheads and part of life. Part of life.
From horsepower gains to custom enhancement, we deliver results. Late model Racecraft. Talking only racing.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Behind me, I have Mr. Wilkins' super clean 2021 ZL1 Camaro. And I know we do a lot of 850 horsepower packages on this channel. It is our most popular LT4 package to date when it's the ZL1 platform, the V3, or even a C7 Z06. I think for a reason, because of the horsepower you get out of it, the performance, and the sound and reliability. This car, Mr. Wilkins, all the way from the West Coast, shipped it to us. It was a bone stock car when we got it. Only 15,000 miles on the odometer, so it's still a super clean car inside and out. And yeah, we turned it into our 850 monster that we do on a weekly basis here. So let me pop the hood and kind of show you guys a few changes that we've made to the package in the past probably 2 or 3 months. All right, guys, so I'm trying not to be repetitive because of how many times we show this package, because we build so many of them. So I try to pick and choose only a few that we actually put on our YouTube channel. Again, Mr. Wilkins is a super clean vehicle, so I wanted to show you guys this one in particular, as well as we changed just a few little things to the package that doesn't really have to do with performance. It's more about daily driving and the driving experience. So 850 package, pop the hood, first thing you see, big Rotofab airbox. We pull the supercharger off, we pull the cylinder heads out, pretty much the engine comes out of this thing. We change the lifters because we get rid of the displacement on demand, put our camshaft in it, cylinder heads get redone, valve springs, titanium retainers, keepers, locks, everything's brand new. The front of it, we have the billet front cover on it, lower ATI balancer to spin the supercharger harder, and we keep the stock supercharger pulley up top. So again, what we're doing is we're increasing the diameter of the lower to spin the supercharger harder, so we have no belt wrap problems. Better belt wrap, so we don't have any belt slip issues. So that is the bread and butter of this 850 package, including, as always, American racing headers with connection pipes. We've put obviously a Coulter spark plug in it. We run fire core wires on damn near 95% of the builds that we do. And then in this case, because it is our 850, this car is a flex fuel sensor. So this car can run on pump gas or E85. You can see the flex fuel sensor here, as well as we have to upgrade the fuel pump in the back to be able to increase to help adequate for the extra 30% for the ethanol. But this setup here still runs on the factory DI injectors and the factory mechanical fuel pump. The camshaft we put in it spins the mechanical fuel pump harder 38% to give us what we need out of the mechanical fuel pump. But this right here, we stop at 850 because that is about the limit of the stock injectors with the stock mechanical fuel pump without taking that next step, which is like our 1,000 horsepower package, whether it's a Magnuson or a ported blower, where we then upgrade to a larger DI injector and a larger mechanical fuel pump. But looking at it under the hood, it still looks like every other car that we've done. Something new that we've been doing the past few months. Under the hood, guys, y'all normally see a breather either here under the hood. Sometimes we put it over, like actually under here, but most of the times you'll see a breather over here on our builds. Well, these cars, the way we do the breathers is we take the crankcase pressure and we release it to atmosphere. So when you see a breather sitting there, you'll see it smoking just a little bit. Stock engines don't smoke that much. When you have a built motor and the rings are a little bit looser, they will start to smoke a little bit more. And when you're sitting in traffic, that little bit of smoke you can kind of smell when you have the AC on. So we would tell our customers to put it on recirculate and you don't really smell it. Well, we decided to just fix that problem all in general. And now, as y'all can see, you don't see a breather sitting there. We have our breather coming off each valve cover. We have it in the inner fender here. And then we now run the lines from here all the way to the back of the vehicle. That way, when your AC is on, and me in particular, because I test drive these cars, I live an hour away from here. I'm sitting in stop and go traffic every morning and every night. So when I test drive these cars with the AC on, if I don't have it on recirculate, you can kind of get that little smell of the fumes inside the vehicle. And most customers, if they're dressed nice, want to go to dinner, if I'm taking my wife to dinner, she's not going to want to smell that. So I keep it on the AC on recirculate and you won't. But now in case you forget to do that, we put the breather in this way so you don't have to worry about that. All right, if y'all have watched our channel and see our packages, you'll know, but Mr. Wilkins got a P3 gauge, so anytime he runs the car, it'll show him how much ethanol is in it. So right now we're running 50%. And usually a setup like this, we try to tell customers to keep it around 60, 65% or less. But this way he knows how much pump gas and how much E he has in it every time he drives the car. I'm just gonna let you guys know it never gets old test driving these cars. Even the ZL1 platform, the 10-speed automatic on a street tire, in these kind of conditions, this car drives so nice just to cruise it. And then when you go to get on this thing, again, I drive 1,000 horsepower cars every day. This thing still gets me excited to drive. Again, it's a little bit colder road today, so I know for a fact I'm gonna do a third gear pull first with traction control on. This thing's gonna haze the tires from 45 miles an hour all the way up to probably 70 miles an hour. The traction control light will be flashing at me. Like I said, when customers first get these cars back, I have to tell them, just be careful the first few pulls you make. I know everyone wants to just hop in it and see what their newfound horsepower feels like. I just always tell them just to be careful, leave traction control on. And that is why a lot of times we try to tell customers to at least put a Toyo 888 on it, if not go even the next step further, like actual drag radial, depending on how much horsepower it's making. The car at a stoplight like this, feel the camshaft rocking. Again, another reason why this package is so popular. It sounds good, drives great, and it's just very reliable. You can hop in this thing and do what I'm about to do over and over again. It just puts a smile on your face, and especially if you have someone riding with you that's never felt something like this before, this thing goes 60 to 130 very fast. And again, so I'm gonna test it. As always, we tune these things. If you haven't watched our channel before, you can put it in manual mode and it will automatically upshift for you, so you don't have to watch the tack and hit the upshift button. I make it so you can just concentrate on the road and floor it and have your hands at 10 and 2. So like right now, if we're just driving in normal, it'd be like in 5th gear, 6th gear. Someone pulls up next to us, bump it over in manual mode. I'm in 6th gear right now. Downshift 5th, 4th, 3rd. Like I said, that never gets old. I have my hands full with a 700 rear-wheel horsepower car. Again, I try to tell a lot of our customers, everyone wants 1,000 plus horsepower all the time. A 750 rear-wheel horsepower street car is a blast to drive. Again, obviously there'll be faster cars out there that make more horsepower, but they have to be real gearheads that have modified vehicles to outrun something like this. And again, this is a car you can hop in and drive every day. My wife actually likes to drive cars like these. Now, on tires like that, I'm not gonna tell her to do what I just did. I'd make sure to have a Toyo on it for her. But feeling that over and over again, I know we make a lot of these videos, I keep saying it. I just don't want y'all to think I get used to this stuff, because I do get used to 1,000 horsepower cars, like just being in them, but the rush you get from what I just did, man, it's hard to beat. It's worth every freaking dollar, in my opinion. But I'm a gearhead, I got it in my blood. So just like any drug, once you get it in you, especially the car guys that know, once you get bit by the bug, it is hard to get rid of it. But I'm gonna look over the log, make sure everything is safe. For Mr. Wilkins, this car does run on pump gas or E85, so it is a true flex fuel vehicle. Like I said, if he's gonna just drive this thing every day, he can put pump gas in it. When he wants to go play with his buddies or have fun on the weekend, put E85 in it. It'll make it a little bit more safer, and it will pick up roughly 50 to 60 rear-wheel horsepower just from changing the fuels. So again, another one complete. I'm gonna make sure everything's good on it. The car is super clean. This thing only has 15,000 miles on it. So Mr. Wilkins keeps this thing very clean, low mileage, and yeah, he's gonna enjoy it when he gets it back. So, all right, the last pull we just made, y'all saw in 3rd gear how this thing just roasted the tire. Even traction control on, it's hazing the tires from, like I said, 45 miles an hour all the way up to 70 miles an hour. I was gonna try 2nd gear, but there's really no point. So I'm gonna do just another 3rd gear rip just to get data and just to show this thing having fun, beating on it over and over again to show you how reliable these cars are and how much fun they are. So about 45 miles an hour, about 3,800 RPMs. Been so good, but it tracks straight. I mean, you can see I got my hands full, but I don't feel like I'm out of control. Even on these tires, on a colder road like this, these cars really do handle very well. And with the Toyos on it, it would actually just plant and go in 3rd gear like that. And we could even use 2nd gear. If we tried 2nd gear right here, just traction control would kick in so hard. yes, you could do it. It's just the car won't accelerate that fast because we're pulling out so much timing to keep the tires to the road. But again, I just wanted to make another pool just to get data. The more data, the better for me. I can see consistencies, making sure fuel pressure is good. I always check the air temps. I always talk about air temps on these things. We don't spin these superchargers to the max unless you get like our 1,000 horsepower package where we port the factory blower. Then we spin those hard. But like the package like this, intake air temps are still I call it very much under control, even with the factory heat exchanger in this thing. Just because we don't spin the supercharger hard, we don't need to. 11 pounds of boost. This thing still makes over 700 real horsepower, drives the way it does reliably. There's just no reason to spin it harder, especially running E85. We just will run out of fuel if we try to spin the blower harder. This system does have this package does come with a aftermarket fuel pump in the back, but it still is running the factory mechanical fuel pump and the factory DI injectors in it. But anyways, just made another pool just to get some data. I'm gonna save it, make sure it looks good, and I will end this video for the second time, if Jason didn't already show the first one. And Mr. Wilkins, enjoy your baby. Be careful with it. For the first few pulls you do make, for sure keep traction control on. If you get frisky, you want to put tires on it, then I would say you can turn the traction control off once you get used to it. But in my opinion, I don't think you'll ever need to unless you're at a drag strip. Just keep traction control on, do what I just did. You will have an absolute blast. Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Give it a like if you liked it so far. And please turn on bell notifications for future content, as we have cool stuff in the pipeline that you're going to want to see. And as always, please comment below.